All right, now, no more BS, no more mucking around, no more sitting on the fence. The barefoot investor, Scott Pape, is a man who many people turn to for some financial advice or somebody they read often. He today did the first thing he's done in 20 years when it comes to a federal budget. He didn't bother going to Canberra because, as you have all learnt by now, it's all handed out and leaked and mentioned, and even the budget surplus was known in the papers this morning. He refers to it essentially as sort of really boring political theatre. And in that spirit, let's begin this evening. While we will get serious and we'll have our debates, let's also poke fun at these people who pretend they are changing anyone's life, when, of course, all this document is about every year, regardless of who the politician is, it's about saving their backside, about telling you that your world's going to get better because, woo, $75 every 3 months, you know, this garbage. Jim Chalmers did something that no treasurer I have seen in the past has done. He invited the cameras in to watch him, like a gladiator, leave his office and walk into the parliament. And it's the best bit of TV I've seen since Goldberg was wrestling back in WCW.
This is an intimidating sight. If you're an opponent in the ring, you can see on the large screens the long walk that he has from the ring. Wait a minute. I can see from my view Raymond Dallas is standing in the opposite corner. His head's down. He's leaning against the rope. He's in deep concentration. He's not watching Goldberg from out here. He's getting himself.
Without the pyro and not quite as interesting and probably just as fake. Now, tonight we're going to have an all-star panel of Sky News mates and friends and colleagues. I'm so pleased Chris Kenny and Andrew Bolt are here. I'm so pleased we're going to have the Team Red, Team Blue. You'll hear a lot of reaction that's coming in as well. But right off the top, our budget tradition, the 5 things you need to know about this federal budget. Number 1, the reality here is that every household getting a $300 power rebate means that you, in actual fact, are going to be paying for millionaires to be able to take $300 off their power bills. The Treasurer, in order to take a line politically out of this budget, has said every household will get $300. Wait till I tell you how that $300 is being doled out.
Just as every Australian taxpayer will get a tax cut, every Australian household will get energy price relief. Yeah. From July 1, Australians will receive an energy rebate of $300 and 1 million small businesses will get a little bit more.
That's right, this bloke who thinks he'll be the Prime Minister one day, the working class hero, thinks there is no difference in cost of living pain between this house in the suburbs of his own electorate or this house and every other mansion in the country. That's what every household means. Now, the reality is that people at the rich end of town have largely been the ones that have been spending and spending and spending. They're still going on overseas holidays, they're still buying new tellies, while people at the other end are cutting back on medicine, cutting back on food. And because the Reserve Bank only has one lever to pull, they put up the rates. In part, that's why, because of the spending that has been done by those who have the money to spend, to slow the entire economy, you, in suburban Australia, have had the python around you. 13 times in all, but a dozen since this government came to power. Also, the reality of all of this. Now, they're going to get a headline, and it's going to cost billions of dollars of taxpayers' money, that $300 power bill gift from the federal government. But as Andrew Clennell explained in our coverage a little earlier this evening, this is how it will actually work, and maybe the fireworks just become a bit of a sparkler that's running out.
And you get 75 a quarter, all of us. You know, Gina Reinhardt gets it, Twiggy Forrest gets it, we all get it. Everyone watching gets it. And I think it just rolls pretty much straight onto your bill.
Wow. I don't know about you, but I will never forget this day. Just like the great days in history where you know where you were, well, you will forever say to yourself, where was I on the 14th of May in 2024? When this government ended the cost of living crisis by handing power companies $75 a quarter. You don't get the money and then if you choose to spend it on something else, you can. No. It goes to the power companies. The lefties will blow up about it because it's fossil fuel companies. But that's the change to your life. Because just like tax cuts, you don't pay an annual power bill. You pay a quarterly one. And if you pay a monthly one, it's $25. Wow! Thank you, Dr. Jim. You've solved all my problems. What this is actually about is about trying to get around the key broken promise of the last election, the one when the Prime Minister said this.
Households will benefit by $275 on average. Reducing power prices by $275. Prices by $275. $275. $275 a year. $275. $275 a year.
See, because they think you're stupid, they think you have no memory. They think somehow they can tell you, they can gaslight you on a detail enough that you will forget the reality. Power prices, since those promises were made, are up by the best part of $1,000. Oh, so they're going to find a way to bring it down for 1 year only, for $300. Oh, and that's better than our $275 promise. No. The $275 promise was on the power prices of May in 2021, not on the power prices of May 2024. And when challenged on the 275 number, this is what the Treasurer said to, again, Kieran Gilbert in our coverage earlier tonight.
The number you're referring to is a forecast in 21 about an outcome in 25. We're providing energy bill relief in the here and now. We did in the last budget. We are again in the next budget, but there'll be more relief for more people in this budget.
No, that wasn't modelling. That was a promise. One so much so that we could fill the entire extra 30 minutes of this show in the full 90 minutes to show you how many times they said it. But now they didn't say it, and $25 a month is apparently going to make you completely forget that your power bill has gone up by how much since this mob came to power? Number two, no matter the spin, what we've told you about the tax cuts remains as true today as the first day we said it. In the real world, the tax cuts are too little too late. They do not change the lived experience of Australians. Now, for workers around the country, they don't pay their tax annually. You pay your tax weekly, fortnightly or monthly. So when they turn around and talk about the big number about the end of the year, that's not how you actually pay tax. So in the same way they're going to say $300 off power bills, it's not $300 off power bills, it's $25 a month off power bills. And you don't get the money, the power company gets the money. The reality of the too little too late tax cut was that if you earn $45,000, you're only going to get $15 a week. $22 a week if you earn 60 grand, $32 a week if you earn 80 grand, or $41,000 if you earn $41 if you earn $100,000. I won't be that generous to them. That'll be next year's giveaway if they're still waiting for an election. But again, the Treasurer who has been spinning the annual figure, the penny has dropped, that the lived experience of people and why they don't buy the BS about the tax cuts is because you pay it weekly, fortnightly or monthly. So by the Treasurer's own admissions, he now says what the average figure is going to be for the tax cut per week, and think about whether this even touches the sides of the middle of the financial problems you're facing.
The average benefit is $1,888 a year, which is $36 a week. Our tax cuts are better for families and communities, women and young people. They are better for business and they are better for the economy.
Now, remember how way back when the Howard government handed out a tax cut and they were able to break it down by the 52 weeks a year, it was a milkshake and a hamburger. Well, this might be slightly more generous, but it, again, doesn't change your life. Let me put this in terms that Australians will understand. The number one beer in the country is Great Northern. You cannot buy a case of Great Northern with this tax cut each week. And if you're somebody who really has the backside out of their strides, you wouldn't even be able to afford a six-pack a week of Great Northern. So they will go around the country saying everyone gets a tax cut. It's not enough for a case of beer. everyone gets a power cut. You're paying power companies to subsidise millionaires. And even if you think it's a good idea, it's $25 a month.